The shop is quiet now, just the dust in a slant of afternoon. I found the rocker in the corner, legs split clean along the grain. Her hands had traced this same backrest last spring, humming a tune. Now I set the clamp and wait for the glue to hold again. I remember how she laughed when the first rocker gave way. It's just a chair, she said, but I saw her eyes go dim. She'd been sitting there the morning that the doctor came to say that the cancer had a handhold and the fight was narrow and slim. So I sat where the crack used to bite, and I breathe where the splinters lie quiet. This slow work of making things right is the only prayer I know to try it. I never thought I'd find you in the curve of a broken arm, or feel your presence in the shavings curling from the plane. But there is mercy in the grain, there is healing in the calm, and the wood remembers nothing of the sorrow or the pain. Just a shape that's left in the hands that called it home again. The glue has set by evening, and the clamps come loose at last. I run my fingers where the joint is seamless, smooth as silk. That night she held my hand and said the chemo couldn't last, but she hoped I'd finish this and maybe learn to drink warm milk. I saved the dust from every pass, blew it into a jar on the windowsill. Something of her stays in glass, something holds me still. I never thought I'd find you in the curve of a broken arm, or feel your presence in the shaving curling from the plane. But there is mercy in the grain, there is healing in the calm, and the wood remembers nothing of the sorrow or the pain. Just a shape that's left in the hands that called it home again. I pulled the last hymn book down from the rack, the dust of 100 Sundays on my sleeves, the echo of my own voice still hung in the rafters, but the words fell thin like leaves in a dry breeze. I sat where no one sits, the back row, where the paint is chipped and the wood is I didn't ask for a sign, I just held the pages when the afternoon broke through the windows torn. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a flame, just a crack where the light found a name. In the smell of old paper, in the quiet that stayed, I felt the mystery hold me and not be afraid. The sermon I preached had all the right lines, but my heart was a field that forgot how to grow. I spoke of a river I hadn't stood in, and the weight of my own words began to show. And that's when a sliver of gold crossed the floor, touching the dust like a hand coming down. It fell on the spine of a book I'd forgotten, and I bent my head low, not to pray, just to be found. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a flame, just a crack where the light found a name. In the smell of old paper, in the quiet that stayed, I felt the mystery hold me and not be afraid. The altar was empty, but the seal still held a piece of a rainbow in a single thread. I wasn't healed, I wasn't made new, but the doubt and the wonder both knelt. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a flame, just a crack where the light found a name. And I walked out with nothing but dust on my hands, and the mystery stayed like a song in the land. The leg had split along a dry old crack. He traced a line with one worn thumb and knew the wood had spoken once and now spoke back, and asked for patience when the grain pulled through. He clamped the joint and measured twice the gap the glue could hold if nothing forced the seam. He breathed a prayer he did not shape with lips, but felt it rise like steam from cooling tea. And every shaving curling on the floor was something he could offer, nothing more. Just a steady hand and a faithful light, where the plane blade sings and the shavings light. He found a rest that didn't need a bed, and mending what the years had left for dead.
The chariot
to sleep. He sanded where the 2 marks had begun, and thought of teeth that cut so small and deep. The afternoon grew long without a word. The plane blade whispered low against the grain. He wiped the dust and let his fingers learn that every crack could be a place to mend again. And every shaving curling on the floor was something he could offer, nothing more. Just a steady hand and a faithful light, where the plane blade sings and the shavings lie. He found a rest that didn't need a bed, and mending what the years had left for dead. He didn't kneel inside a church. He knelt where sawdust covered wood, and in the quiet of the work, he understood. He understood. Just a steady hand and a faithful light, where the plane blade sings and the shavings lie. He found a rest that didn't need a bed, and mending what the years had left for dead. I walked the same path, past the leaning fence line. Wildflowers brushed my pants, still wet from afternoon. The rod stayed clean, the creel hung empty on my shoulder, and the water talked low, like a voice I used to know. I picked a flat gray stone from the mud beside the bank, felt the cold in the weight, like a verse I'd almost spoke. The river knew a song I couldn't sing, a tune that only silence can repeat. I let that stone slip from my thumb and watched it skip across the deepening dark. 7 times it touched before it sank, and I felt the air grow still, like a held breath. There used to be 2 shadows here at the water's edge, one that cast long, one that learned to follow. Now the cricket saw the first star, and I counted waves, each one smaller than the last, each one a kind of prayer. I picked another stone, but my hand just held it tight, not ready yet to let it fly, not ready to let go. The river knew a song I couldn't sing, a tune that only silence can repeat. I let that stone slip from my thumb and watched it skip across the deepening dark. 7 times it touched before it sank, and I felt the air grow still, like a held breath. The wildflowers on the roadside, they don't last. Every year they come back, same color, same place. And the crickets don't mourn the sun when it's gone. They just start their chorus, waiting for the moon. The river still hums a song I'm learning to sing, a hymn that sounds like home when you're far. I let the stone go, it only touched once, but the circles spread wider than I thought they could. And the air grew still, and I didn't need to speak. The river knew the song before I did. The afternoon sun through the window crack lays a line of gold across the workbench open. I've got a broken rung here, split at the joint, and my hands remember when this chair first spoke. I could fix it fast with a nail and glue. Something in me wants to do it slow, to feel the grain give way under the plane. Let the shavings curl and let the silence grow. The dust settled where my breath has been, and the rhythm of my arms starts to slow. I don't need to know what comes after this. I just need to trust that the wood will hold. There's a shaving caught in the lamplight's reach, curled like a question I used to chase. But the plane keeps moving steady and true, and the chair begins to take its rightful place. I could hurry home, there's a list to keep, but the longer I stay, the more I find that the work itself is a kind of prayer, and the stillness here is a patient kind. The dust settles where my breath has been, and the rhythm of my arms starts to slow. I don't need to know what comes after this. I just need to trust that the wood will hold. When the last joint fits without a word, I set the plane down on the dusty floor. The chair stands steady, it doesn't lean, and I breathe for the first time since before. The dust settles where my breath has been, and the rhythm of my arms starts to slow. I don't need to know what comes after this. I just need to trust that the wood will hold. I just need to trust that the wood will hold. The split in the oak ran deeper than I thought. 3 winters of settling in the grain. I traced it with a finger rough as rope, then set the clamp so the line could breathe again. The clock on the wall had a steady tick, counting the years I've spent in this shop. I picked up the plane and I let it rest where the old glue started to stop holding, and the sawdust settled like a quiet hymn, and the shavings curled at my feet. I wasn't fixing the wood so much as letting the stillness complete what was started. There's a dent in the arm from a hand I knew, and the rungs are worn from the weight of years. I sanded the joints till they felt brand new, but the memory stays, and it holds a tear. I don't know when the tiredness left, but the clock kept time, and the wood kept shape, and the smell of cedar filled the air like a song that you don't have to say aloud. The chair stood solid beneath my hands, and the plane fell silent on the floor. I wasn't fixing the wood so much as finding the peace I was looking for. Combined coughs and dies, a sudden hush. The blade hangs mid-turn, dust still hanging in its weight. I step down from the cab, the heat away, and the wheat bends low as if it knows to wait.
My gloves are soaked, the leather dark with salt. The field stretches wide, a sea of amber and gold. I've walked this cut from dawn to evening's fall, but the stalks tonight are heavy. soft and old.
And the wind runs through the gaps in the fence, a quiet sound, thin as a prayer. I didn't mean to stop, but it makes sense. The wheat bows low, and I bow with it there. When the wheat bows low, I feel my own weight. Not the weight of the load, but the weight I've carried so long. When the wheat bows low, the sky gets so quiet and deep, and I let my shoulders fall and I am known. The sun slides down behind the lone oak line. The last light catches on a single strand of grain. I wipe my brow and taste the salt of time, and the field is breathing the way I can't explain. And the wind runs through the gaps in the fence, a quiet sound, thin as a prayer. I didn't mean to stop, but it makes sense. The wheat bows low, and I bow with it there. I've been chasing the yield, the bushel count, but the field is teaching me to yield instead. This stillness is the only crop that counts, a harvest I didn't know I had to find. When the wheat bows low, I feel my own weight. Not the weight of the load, but the weight I've carried so long. When the wheat bows low, the sky gets so quiet and deep, and I let my shoulders fall and I am known. Feel my own weight. Not the weight of the load, but the weight I've carried so long. When the wheat bows low, the sky gets so quiet and deep, and I let my shoulders fall and I am known. The combine waits, the dust still hangs in air. The wheat bows low, and I stay under my boots as I turn past the last row of corn bent by the wind. I was counting the steps that I'd walked since the dawn, every one of them heavy with nothing to show. The sky was a slow change from gold into blue, and the fence posts were humming a tune I once knew. I patted my pocket for the key to the shed, then remembered I left it beside the old bed. But the road didn't ask what I brought home today. It just carried my shadow the rest of the way. The wind through the gaps in the wires sang low, like a hymn that had nowhere particular to go. And I'm coming in quiet while the porch light is on, before all the fields have gone silver and One more step on the gravel, one more breath of dry air, and the weight of the waiting will fall somewhere in there. The sky tells me nothing I haven't known, just a promise that staying is better than going alone. The garden gate creaked like it always does, and the smell of dry earth rose up from the dust. I saw the small window where she'd set the lamp low, a flicker that said you can rest now, you know. I pulled off my gloves and I hung them on the nail, and the ache in my shoulders began to grow frail. I didn't have answers for why the rain stayed away, just the sound of the wind and a light that would stay. And the road didn't ask what I brought home today, it just carried my shadow the rest of the way. The wind through the gaps in the wires sang low, like a hymn that had nowhere particular to go. And now I'm coming in quiet while the porch light is on, before all the fields have gone silver and gone. One more step on the gravel, one more breath of dry air, and the weight of the waiting will fold somewhere in there. The sky tells me nothing I haven't known, just a promise that staying is better than going alone. The door didn't lock when I turned the old knob, it just swung open slow like a pardon. The floorboards were cold but the kettle was warm, and the silence had never felt less like a storm. I'm home before dark with my hands full of dust, and the one who was waiting has turned down the fuss. The wind through the gaps is still singing the same, but I know now the tune is a kind of a name. The gravel road under me, the sky overhead, I was carried this evening and carried to bed. The last car pulled away before the clouds let go. I set my bag by the door, kicked off my shoes. The porch light caught the first drops, small and slow, and the rhythm took over like a tune I'd never used. I thought I'd boil water, warm my hands through, but the sound from above had already begun. The kettle waited, the steam never rose. I just sat in the chair where the evening goes. And the rain on the tin roof kept falling steady, no hurry, no end, just a song already ready. I didn't have to pray, didn't have to ask. The constant drip wrote something in the quiet I couldn't grasp, and the weariness that hung like a coat on my back began to soften, began to crack. night. I've been stitching wounds I couldn't see, hands that trembled, faces I'd never meet. The hallway lights hum, the monitors beat, but out here the wind just whispered through the weeds. One deep breath, and then another, like the roof was teaching me to recover. The coffee cool, I let it be. There was something in the silence speaking over me. And the rain on the tin roof kept falling steady, no hurry, no end, just a song already ready. I didn't have to pray, didn't have to ask. The constant drip wrote something in the quiet I couldn't grasp, and the weariness that hung like a coat on my back began to soften, began to crack. Water running down the gutter, gravity pulling what was scattered. I thought I had to hold it all, but the rain just answered the call. Now the rain on the tin roof is slowing down. A few last drops, then the weight unwound. Didn't fix a thing, didn't make it right. The dark felt broader, the air felt light, and the weariness that hung like a coat on my back lies folded now, and I won't take it back. Gravel shifts beneath my polished soles, a sound that's lonelier than the hospital's hum. I've left the glare of hallways and the beat of machines that measure breath and heartbeat both. The skies are bruised of gray and palest blue, first crack of light behind the tree line's edge. My coat still carries antiseptic salt, and the weight of a hand I held for 7 hours. We didn't say a thing about the Lord, just watched the ceiling tiles and counted breath. Thought about her daughter in the chair, how she folded and unfolded paper cups, and the road gets quieter with every step, and the ache in my back starts to loosen its fist. Somewhere a bird begins to warm its throat, and I'm not as tired as I thought I was. This walk is a kind of prayer I didn't choose. Gravel kicks up dust that rises slow, past the field where dew webs the barbed wire, past the mailbox with the rusted red flag up. There's a light on in the kitchen down the lane. Someone else is finishing a different kind of shit. I slow my pace and let the silence spread, like water finding level after rain. And the road gets quieter with every step, and the ache in my back starts to loosen its fist. Somewhere a bird begins to warm its throat, and I'm not as tired as I thought I was. This walk is a kind of prayer I didn't choose. gravel kicks up dust that rises slow. The last turn brings a porch light into view, and I can smell the coffee that's gone cold. I'll take off my shoes at the door and let the quiet hold what I can't see. The road got quieter with every step, and the ache in my back finally let go. A bird was singing from the fence post now, and I was home before I knew I'd arrived. This walk was a prayer I didn't choose. The gravel kicked up dust that settled slow. The shop is cold this early, light just gray through the window glass. Her chair still leans against the wall where she left it 3 winters past. The rocker split where her hand would rest, I never saw it break. I traced the crack with a callous thumb, feel the splinter I didn't take.
I pick a plank of cherry wood from the stack behind the bench. The grain runs straight like her patience ran through every crooked inch. She'd sit here evenings mending shirts while I repaired the plow. Now I'm the one left mending what she never told me how.
The dust motes hang in the morning shaft like questions I can't say, but my hands know what to do when my mouth forgets to pray. So I sand slow, let the shavings fall like letters on the floor. Each stroke brings back the sound of her rocking by the door. I don't know if heaven has a porch or a wind that moves so kind, but I'm shaping wood that holds her weight. That's enough for now, I find. The glue sets in the joint, I clamp it tight with a steady twist. The smell of fresh cut cherry wraps around me like a whispered list of all the things I meant to say when her voice still filled this room. But the silence now feels holy, like a seed inside a tomb. I run my palm across the curve where her shoulder used to lean. The wood is warm though the stove is out, something I've never seen. I sand slow, let the shavings fall like letters on the floor. One more coat of oil, one more prayer I can't ignore. The chair is whole again, and I think I understand. Hope isn't a promise, it's the work of a steady hand.